So do you still say that Uganda shillings, our currency is stronger than the Kenya currency? Yes or no? So, in East Africa, Kenya has the highest economy, even as we make this video. So, how can you have the highest economy and you have the weakest currency? What is driving the other economy and it's doing good?
We are not talking about that Kenya has the weakest currency because we want to show that maybe we are doing well. No.
You know, some people think that maybe we are trying to compare so that we are like, you as Uganda, we are like higher than you. So that's why we get like some comments. How can you compare Uganda to Kenya? You people from the bush, stay in the bush, something like that.
I have a right to say anything that affects me. A bad Kenya currency affects me directly. Badly, I can assure you. So I have a right to talk about it. And by the fact that there's an East African community, Kenya being part of East African community, no one will shut me up. I will say anything I want about Kenya, about East Africa. But the beauty is, these people on social media who are yapping and making noise are not the policymakers. I'm sure the policymakers are not sleeping because they have to make sure things get right.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today I have brought this person back because we got a lot of comments which were contradicting with what I expected. We were comparing, we were talking that Kenya shilling has lost value, and I had come to know what's the truth. But what he said, most of you said that he's lying. Welcome to the channel. If you like this kind of content, please kindly subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. So today I brought him back to answer all the questions. Today I have to leave when I know, is it A or it's B? Not confusing me anymore. So welcome to the channel.
Thank you for coming me back. And greetings to my brothers and sisters in Kenya, because I know most of the questions are coming from there. So let me see what they were asking or what they didn't agree with, then I respond.
So do you still say that Uganda shillings, our currency is stronger than the Kenya currency? Yes or no?
You know, it's also not good to argue about things which are right or wrong. At the end of the day, we are talking about evidence-based. Even last week, it is the same thing that was...
Is it yes or no?
It's a yes. It's a yes, but at the same time, like I'm saying, even as of last week, the whole of last week, that subject matter was still being talked about. The Kenyans, these people should learn to watch their own news and also respond accordingly. Because you see, at the end of the day, I think let's also be clear. Like they say, ignorance is no defense. I'm not supposed to come into your house and I force you to switch on TV, or I force you to go and buy papers which are being sold on the streets. So let's also be guided. I think we should also be acting mature. Because you see, at the end of the day, just arguing for the case of arguing, it's also good. It's your right, really. It's everyone's right to decide what to do, either to be right or wrong. But I'm sure I've followed social media a lot. I know how practically everyone responds or how they behave. I know most people have gone into this thing of just comments. I want more comments under my post. I want so many likes. You know, I don't know how you benefit from it. But me, I'm different because I'm a realist. I'm not into something telling me that you're good when you're bad. When you're bad, I'll say it. I might not say it as bad as it is. I'll try to put some gymnastics and some bit of, you know. But still, I will be looking at it as it is.
So, where did you get that information? What is the source of your information apart from maybe TV? Even it may depend who's on TV talking. So, where did you get the information? That first of all, Kenya shilling is among the 3 weakest currency in Africa. Where did you get that information? So that people who are watching won't say that you're lying. If they want to know the truth, they also go to that source and find out the truth.
No, you see, at the end of the day, I think they should prove me wrong. Let them do the research. And no, because even as of last week, from Kenya itself, as they were just saying that they are almost expecting more visitors from Britain because of their weak shilling. Since these people are going to benefit more when they come in the economy, when the shilling is a bit weak, they will spend less of their money. So all that is in the public domain. Public domain, I mean, you can just go on the internet and throw one thing or two. Just search. The same way you use the internet to dispute things you've not even listened to. Try as much as possible. I'm sure, I know internet in Kenya is cheaper than in Uganda. You have access to internet. Just go to Google, go to any search engine. You will get the answer. Even just right there, Kenyan currency. You just get the answers. I don't need to be arguing about something which is in the public domain.
All right. So they should
questions?
do research. So, in East Africa, Kenya has the highest economy, even as we make this video. So, how can you have the highest economy and you have the weakest currency? What is driving the other economy and it's doing good?
Now, I think I would suggest let's respond to the actual questions they asked.
That question was there, that what drives the economy?
Yeah, okay,
our currency is the weakest, but our economy is the best. So what is driving this economy?
You see, again, we are going back to the same thing, because I think I had even responded to that person, if I'm not mistaken. Because you see, we are responding to something which is already being talked about. They are looking for a solution to that. And I didn't dispute that Kenya has the highest economy in East Africa. I'm sure even anyone who listened to the video could get that answer from me. Because you see, at the end of, let me also be clear. Kenya, Nairobi in particular, as the capital of Kenya, in East Africa, Kenya has the largest economy. You get it? Like the same way you hear America as a superpower has the largest economy in the whole world, or China has the largest economy in the whole world, but the development rate as per where they were before maybe has reduced. It's the same way, like things are good at home, but you have a very bad child. It doesn't remove that things are good at home. You might be having a flourishing family, but when you have a child who doesn't want to study, does it remove the flourishing family? It is the same case. The economy is big, and the economy, the Kenyan economy, is the largest in the East African bloc. Yeah. No one can dispute that. Okay? Even as we speak now, Nairobi, as the capital, is among, I think if not even the first or the second, among the largest capitals of Africa. I think even it might be even the second with the second with the tallest. I mean the tallest, like the skyscrapers in Africa. So it takes all the credit, and no one can remove that credit. But when we talk about the currency, let's not talk about this. The time we're talking about the development, we shall talk about it. But here we are mixing things which I don't want. Kenyans wanted to hear that you have the largest economy in East Africa. No one is disputing, and it's not going to change. That is a fact. that is written everywhere, even if you go to the internet that I'm sending you to go and pick the other information. So let's not mix up. Things are not good with the currency. The economy is good. I'm not meaning like good as in, of course, you see, if you have the largest economy and your currency is strong, then you know things will be moving on well. But having the largest economy and things are not going the opposite, then something needs to be done. We are not talking about that Kenya has the weakest currency because we want to show that maybe we are doing well. No, we are talking about it because it is in the public domain and something needs to be done about it. That's why we are discussing it. Nothing else. We're not discussing it because we want it there. If I can also maybe say one word, I'm among the people who want the Kenyan currency to be strong, who want the Kenyan economy, powerful as it is, to stay there, because I, as a Ugandan, I'm also a Kenyan, I'm also an East African. So I do a lot of things in Kenya. So I'm among the people who want it to be doing well. Hence, if you had listened to that video, we would discuss, but at the end of the day, give some hints on what could be done to help it move in the right direction.
You know, some people think that maybe we are trying to compare so that we are like, you ask Uganda, we are like higher than you. So that's why we get like some comments. How can you compare Uganda to Kenya? You people from the bush, stay in the bush, something like that.
No, such kind of a person talks from the ignorance point of view. I can assure you. One, let me also be clear about this. Kampala doesn't want to be like Nairobi. Uganda doesn't want to be like Kenya. We are contented where we are. The same way Nairobi, Kenya is contented. I'm using in quotes, I'm not saying in reality, because at the end of the day, at least we would want to reduce on the poverty levels, the same way Kenya would want to do the same thing. So Nairobi as it is, if I want Nairobi, I will go there from Kampala. We have daily buses, we have daily flights, I can go there. The same way a person would be in Kenya would want to. The same way I would want to go to Kigali, or I go to Kigali, the same way I go to Dar es Salaam. So we need each other, we complement each other. So there's nothing like I want Kampala to be like Nairobi. Even I think in some video I talked about it. Like, why would Uganda be having high-size skyscrapers? It's not visible. You see already even the tall buildings we have here are not occupied. So don't you think that the owners are losing money, and yet they invested money? So where we are more contented. The only thing we need is a powerful economy, however small the buildings might be. If I need the skyscrapers, Kenyans, I can assure you, I only need 1 hour to be in Nairobi to see those skyscrapers. And I love it when I'm in Kenya because I enjoy. I have a family in Kenya. I have so many people in Kenya. You get it? So I don't talk like negatively, because even when you hear our discussion, it's not about negativity. It's about this is not right, but how can it be corrected? You
not
get
telling
it?
That's why, like, you are not even supposed to be speaking, like.
No, I have a right to say anything that affects me. A bad Kenya currency affects me directly. Badly, I can assure you. So I have a right to talk about it. And by the fact that there's an East African community, Kenya being part of East African community, no one will shut me up. I will say anything I want about Kenya, about East Africa, because it's part of me. It's part of my life.
Okay, I don't want this video to be very long, but I feel like we should respond to this
Yes.
last point. This person said, according to Google, Kenya, how can you say that Kenya is among the 3 weakest? On Google, it's among the first 11 in the whole of Africa. The 11 currencies doing well. Kenya is the 11th in East Africa. In Africa. according to internet where you're sending them to. Have you ever heard of that?
Again, I'll go back to ignorance. Kenyan currency has not been weak for all the periods. You get it? Kenyan currency has been strong at some point. You can still use those same statistics, and I'm sure that's the same statistics this person used. But as of now, if we are to use the current statistics, not the former statistics, I think it's the opposite. So let's also be guided to, because you see, me, I wouldn't want to call myself a teacher, but I think at the end of the day, if there's a problem and you don't want to acknowledge it, there's no way you're going to get a solution. But the beauty is, these people on social media who are yapping and making noise are not the policymakers. I'm sure the policymakers are not sleeping because they have to make sure things get right. So maybe I could also advise, I think as we are all creating such kind of videos, I think it's for educational purposes, for helping each other. That's why in case maybe I've said something and it's not right, it's good to guide me and tell me, because I think I read almost all the comments, and some comments I responded. There are people I really saw who listened to everything we talked about, and they were arguing from the point of knowledge. They knew what they were arguing about. They would say, okay, no, you said this, I think you are about the currency, knowing whether it's weak or strong. It's based on imports versus exports, which I acknowledge maybe it didn't come out well, but at the end of the day it actually came out, because I'm sure I remember you asking me about the same thing. So it passed through. I never discussed, but it passed through. When the exports when the imports are more than the exports, it affects the currency. So then I think the other person, I don't recall what they said, but you really see they were arguing from a point of knowledge, not from a point of ignorance. Ignorance is not a bad word. I'm sure it's a good word. Once you don't know, you're ignorant about something. Once you know, you are knowledgeable.
All right. Thank you so much. And this time round, I think this is final. Whoever takes it in a bad way, we have nothing to do. Whoever takes it in a good way, yes.
And everyone has a right, really. Like they say, there's freedom of speech. Actually, this is freedom of speech. You like the way I don't like the freedom of speech in Uganda, because we've been given too much freedom to even be stupid. So
you want to be like this minister who was abusing people, that if you know you're in Uganda and you're dying of hunger, you're stupid?
No, I can assure you, people took his statement out of context.